Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of On Track with Ray. Today I want to cover one of the most legendary and iconic trains ever, the famous Orient Express. Just recently I was looking at some beautiful images from the early 1900s, and I came across some beautiful images of early 1900s Orient Express consists. And I said to myself, well, everyone loves the Orient Express, and I have not done a video on these new models that came in last year on the new Hobbytrian Lemke HO Orient Express cars. This new set consists of the Simplon Orient Express. It's a 6-car set. It's an early wood-sided Orient Express. You got to remember, in the early days, the Orient Express cars, Wagon Lee, they were wood-sided cars. And the metal-sided Pullman coaches, I don't believe they came into existence until the late 20s, early 30s. But in the, from the late 1800s to the early, say, 1920s, you would have seen, these beautiful wood-sided Orient Express cars. As a boy, I always thought about the Orient Express, and I always, wanted to find the time and or the money to travel on the real Orient Express. Take it from Paris all the way to Istanbul. That would be the ultimate experience for a train guy, believe me. But if you really think about it, the Orient Express was kind of the first mode of transportation where people were able to leave their own countries and travel to far distances and to other countries, the Orient and Constantinople and Istanbul. That must have been so exciting for people back in the day. Get on a train, you have your restaurant car, you eat good meals, you meet interesting people, you sit around a salon car and you have a nice cocktail, and you might meet a baron or baroness. I mean, how cool was that? But then again, like with anything else, you'd have to have some money to be able to afford, to travel on the Orient Express. No matter what era, it was always very expensive to do that. And I love the whole idea of the Orient Express. I sometimes envision, an Orient Express at Westbahnhof, in Wien, in Vienna, Austria, or in Paris, taking off with those beautiful steam engines and those beautiful cars. Well, I'm going to talk about this new set. I'm going to show you guys some beautiful new cars, and then I'm also going to show you a matching locomotive that you could use with these cars to create your own beautiful Orient Express consist. I'm very excited to show you guys these beautiful cars. The boxes are done very nicely. There's a nice Orient Express Wagon Lee emblem right on the box. When you open up the box, a very nice touch was this beautiful silk Orient Express cloth that you could use as a lapel. I don't know. It's nice. You certainly don't want to blow your nose in it, that's for sure. Well, let's take a look. So, here we go. This is the second run of the Lemke Orient Express. A few years ago, they made a run where they had all brown coaches, and this run is one of my favorite. It's the two-tone, the ivory and the brown. Let's unpack one of the salon cars here. This looks like a sleeper. They pack them so nice. Move all this around here. Look at this beautiful coach. These are 4-axle coaches, and you could see, you know, all the compartments in there. Very, very beautiful. Wood-sided. You know, very, very, very nice roof detail. They really did an excellent job on these. What I also like about these cars is this crest right here, the Orient Express crest. It's not a decal. It's actually, it looks like it's a brass etched, photo etched emblem that they glued on the front of there. It's just really, really nice. These cars all have full interiors. There's illumination inside. They did a beautiful job. Very, very nice. So this set is a 6-car set. It actually comes with 2 baggage cars. Here's a baggage car. And it's a smaller Orient Express baggage car. That's probably why they assigned 2 to each train. So let's open this guy right here. It was a 3-axle baggage car. The 3rd axle pivots, so you can negotiate smaller radius curves. But isn't that a beautiful little baggage car? I just love it. Again, you know, same nice roof detail. There's a little cupola at the one end. The windows have looks like there's some bars or some grating on the inside of the windows. Really nice. The other set also includes a restaurant car. This is another sleeper. So it's probably very similar to the first sleeper. You know, just maybe a different car number. Great undercarriage detail. All the air tanks, all the lines underneath. Really nice job. Going to open up the other box and show you the restaurant car. Okay, let's take a quick look in this box. This box actually has a history of the Orient Express. It shows you all the routes. You know, you could see all the stops from Paris to Istanbul, or this is the Simplon Orient Express. So this one, I believe, started in somewhere in maybe in Munich through Switzerland. Then there's quite a few routes. You could study the routes when you take a look at this little map here. The second box also has the embroidered silk cloth, which is great. And here we have the restaurant car. This is a beautiful car. Take a look at that. You have brass lamps on the dining tables. Again, full interior. Incredible interior detail. This is such a nice set. I'm going to get this set on the layout. And we're going to light it up. Attach a nice Orient Express locomotive to it. And off we go. You know, keep in mind the Orient Express, you know, they produced and delivered, you know, the passenger cars, the salon cars, baggage cars, and so forth, there was really no such thing as an official Orient Express locomotive, because the Orient Express leased locomotives from the various state railroads. So if they would go through France, they usually would run with a French locomotive, or if they go through Germany, with a German locomotive, and over to Simplon, with a Swiss locomotive. In Austria they would use Austrian locomotives and so forth. But what's great about that is, if you have a lot of locomotives, there's a good chance that you have already a few Orient Express locomotives, in your collection. And if you don't, I'm going to show you one that will be a perfect match for this set. So something that I didn't mention that's very important is the Cato Lemke Orient Express set comes in 2-rail DCC, and for the Marklin system, we also have the 3-rail AC version. So we have both versions in stock, the DC and the AC. I found a perfect matching Era 1 German S36 Pacific. The Germans call it the Hochachsige, which basically means this Pacific had the largest drivers in its class. I believe they were 2 meter wheels, so they were very, very high. And again, this beautiful locomotive, we're going to unpack it here in a second. We have these in 3-rail AC for the Marklin system, and in 2-rail DCC for the DC guys. So you can create a consist both in 3-rail AC and 2-rail DCC. We have everything in stock to create that perfect Orient Express. So let's take a look at this engine. So with Marklin and Trix engines, the packaging is incredible. Locomotives are very nicely protected. They have all the instructions and the booklets in this little folder that pops neatly in the side. So let's take a look at this beautiful S36. This was the Bavarian version, and this would be a perfect matching locomotive. Such a royal engine. Beautiful green livery with red underframe, big 2 meter wheels. Take a look at that. Is that not a beautiful locomotive? Look at this. And what's nice about this locomotive, it has state-of-the-art sound decoder already installed. This locomotive is very heavy because it is all metal. The motor is in the front where it should be, right in the cab. You can take a look how finely spoked, those finely spoked wheels are just beautiful. And in real life, the S36 was a 4-cylinder machine, as it was a 4-cylinder compound. So one of the most iconic German steam engines. And this locomotive would be a perfect match for the Cato Lemke Orient Express. We're going to put this on the layout, and we are going to show you this run. I think you'll be very impressed with this locomotive. And also, they are in stock.
The model of this green locomotive is equipped with a smoke generator, and the steam engine also sounds particularly lovely. Era 1 engines enjoy a rather large fan community. Their popularity is particularly owed to their interesting color schemes, which are a lot nicer than the usual black color schemes. This engine will be suitable not only for Era 1, but also the ensuing eras. This model is highly detailed, but also rigid enough to be suited for daily action on the layout. The wheels in particular have turned out incredibly well, and they truly are this locomotive's most distinctive feature. In general, wheels do serve as a locomotive's trademark. The lettering was carried out neatly. The cabin light and the upper headlight on both locomotive and tender can be switched on separately. The boiler holds a 5-pole high-efficiency propulsion with a flywheel. The built-in decoder is compatible with MFX Plus and DCC. These passengers eagerly await the return of this beautiful engine to the tracks. Piston rod protection sleeves and the steps to the smokebox door are supplied as extra parts and can be mounted individually.
So the German S36 is waiting. The Orient Express just arrived. The French locomotive went back to France, and now the Germans are taking over the Orient Express with this beautiful S36. Well, that concludes our presentation of the Cato Lemke Orient Express sets and the beautiful German S36 Pacific from Marklin and Trix. Keep in mind again, guys, that these sets are in stock. They're very limited. We only have a small handful of these. So if you're interested, please let us know. We thank you for watching, and we hope you like our new series, On Track with Ray. We plan on making a lot more other videos in the near future. And thank you for watching, and have a great weekend.